All right, ready for a deep dive. Today, we're all about self-healing. Specifically, self-healing through journaling.
Sounds intriguing.
We're going to dig into 50 prompts. They're designed to help you unlock, some serious self-discovery.
50 prompts. Wow. Where are we getting these prompts from?
An article called 50 Self-Healing Journal Prompts.
Okay.
It's written by Clara Penrose,
All right.
and it's on the Lestallian website.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought the article started really strong. The first line really resonated with me. It says, healing is a deeply personal journey, and journaling can be a powerful tool to support that process.
That's a good point. I mean, journaling can be like a safe space to kind of unpack your emotions, your experiences, all without judgment.
Yeah, I agree.
And these prompts, it's almost like they're like, what's the word? Like a springboard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for that deeper reflection. It's amazing how simple question can lead to such profound insights.
Yeah, sometimes just having that starting point is all it takes.
For sure.
So the first category in the article is exploring emotional pain. And I've got to say, some of these prompts are intense.
Oh.
One of them asks, what is one emotion you're struggling with right now? And it goes on to ask you to reflect on where the feeling comes from and how it's affecting, your everyday life. Pretty deep stuff.
That's a good point. Acknowledging and understanding our emotional pain. I mean, that's often the first step toward healing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true.
A lot of us try to bury those difficult emotions, but journaling, it helps us confront them, explore their roots, and begin to, loosen their grip.
Yeah, it's like bringing those emotions out into the open where you can actually deal with them.
Exactly.
There's another prompt in this category that asks, when is the last time you felt deeply hurt? And it encourages you to reflect on how that experience continues to impact you today. It's amazing how something from the past can still have such a hold on our present.
It's true, isn't it? Past experiences, especially negative ones, they can leave these deep emotional scars. But here's the thing. Journaling about them can help. It can help us process the pain, reframe those experiences, and ultimately move forward.
I like that. It's not about erasing the past, but understanding its impact.
Exactly.
Okay, this next one really got me thinking. It asks, what triggers your emotional pain most often? This one really makes you think about patterns and how we can better protect ourselves. So what do you think about the importance of identifying those triggers in the healing process?
Oh, it's crucial. Recognizing our triggers. That allows us to kind of anticipate situations or even people that might, make our pain worse. And from there, we can develop, strategies to manage those triggers and create, healthier boundaries.
It's about taking control, right, of your own emotional well-being.
Absolutely. Empowering yourself.
Okay, let's move on to the next category. Finding forgiveness.
Forgiveness. Okay.
This is where things get really interesting. Forgiveness is such a complex emotion, and the prompts here dive deep into its different dimensions. It's not just about saying, I forgive you, is it?
No, not at all.
So what is it about?
It's a process, not like a destination, and it's often misunderstood. True forgiveness, it doesn't mean condoning harmful actions. It's about, freeing ourselves from the burden of resentment and anger.
Right.
One prompt asks, who in your life do you need to forgive, and why is it difficult?
Tough question, but it makes you confront those lingering feelings.
Get on, yeah. And there's this other one that asks, what does forgiveness mean to you? It encourages you to write about how letting go of resentment could bring you peace, even if the situation remains unresolved. That really stuck with me. It's like sometimes the situation is beyond our control, but we can still choose to find peace within ourselves.
Exactly. Forgiveness, it's ultimately about self-liberation. Not necessarily, about the other person. It's about recognizing that holding on to resentment, it harms us more than anyone else.
I see that. There's another prompt about, grudges. What is one grudge you've been holding on to, and how has it affected your mental and emotional health? That's a good one. It gets to the heart of the matter.
Yeah, holding on to grudges can be exhausting.
Straining, yeah.
So it seems like exploring emotional pain and then working towards forgiveness through journaling, these can be pretty powerful first steps in the whole self-healing process. What do you think?
I'd agree with that. By acknowledging our pain, understanding its origins, working towards forgiveness, we create a foundation for, genuine healing and growth.
Yeah.
It's like clearing out the debris to make way for something new, something strong.
I like that analogy. Okay, so the next category is rebuilding self-worth.
Okay.
This section definitely has a more positive vibe.
Oh.
One prompt asks, what is one thing you love about yourself? It's simple, but it instantly shifts your focus to your strengths.
Yeah, I like that one, self-worth. That's the bedrock of well-being, isn't it? These prompts, they encourage us to, to challenge those negative beliefs, the ones that can chip away at our self-esteem, cultivating genuine self-compassion.
Yeah, not just empty words.
Right.
Okay, here's another prompt that I found interesting. It asks, how has your self-worth been affected by past experiences? It encourages you to write about how those moments shaped your self-perception and how you can begin to heal from that.
Yeah, it makes you realize how much our past, especially those negative experiences, how much they can impact how we see ourselves.
This is true.
It's crucial to remember we are not defined by those experiences.
Right.
Journaling helps us process those past hurts, reframe them, and rebuild our self-worth based on a more accurate and compassionate understanding of who we are. It's about taking back control
Of your own story.
Yes.
Your narrative.
All right, this next one, I think a lot of people will relate to this. It asks, what negative beliefs do you hold about yourself that you'd like to let go of?
I think we all have those negative thoughts swirling around in our heads. This prompt forces you to confront them, those limiting beliefs, head on. So what do you think about the impact of that negative self-talk?
Oh, it's incredibly destructive. It undermines our confidence. It sabotages our efforts, keeps us stuck, in these negative patterns.
Yeah.
By identifying and challenging those beliefs, we can start replacing them with, more positive and realistic thoughts. Think of it as like rewiring your brain for self-love.
I like that, rewiring for self-love.
Oh.
Okay, one more prompt from this section really stood out to me. When was the last time you felt proud of yourself? Write about that moment and how it strengthened your sense of worth.
Yeah.
I love this one because it encourages us to celebrate our accomplishments no matter how big or small. Why do you think it's so important to celebrate those wins?
Celebrating our successes is crucial. It's crucial for building self-worth. It reinforces those positive feelings about ourselves and helps us recognize our capabilities. Too often, we focus on our shortcomings and forget to acknowledge our strengths. Journaling can help us shift that focus and build, a more positive self-image.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, moving on, we have releasing the past.
Okay, releasing the past.
This section seems to be all about letting go of what no longer serves us, which I imagine can be difficult, but also really essential for healing.
Absolutely. The past can have a powerful hold, but we don't have to be, prisoners to it. Journaling can help us process those experiences, gain insights, find a way to move forward with more freedom, more peace. One prompt that struck me asks, what is one memory from your past that still causes you pain? It encourages reflection on why this memory is so impactful and how you can begin to let go. It's about facing those difficult memories head on.
Yeah, it can be tough to do that, but sometimes it's necessary. There's another one that I thought was powerful. What are you holding on to that no longer serves you? This one makes you consider what you might be clinging to, whether it's, beliefs, habits, or even relationships that are actually holding you back. Do you see that a lot?
Yeah.
People holding on to things that are no longer serving them.
All the time. We hold on to things, out of fear, out of habit, even a misplaced sense of loyalty. Even when they're no longer in our, best interests. Journaling helps illuminate those patterns, right? So you can make conscious choices about what to keep, what to release. It's about creating space for something new, something better.
Yeah, making room for positive change. Okay, here's another prompt that I thought was interesting. How does your past affect your present decisions?
Oh, interesting.
It's a good reminder that our past can sometimes unconsciously influence the choices we make today. So what are your thoughts on that connection between our past and present?
Our past experiences, they absolutely shape our perceptions, our beliefs, our expectations. And they can influence, our decision-making in ways we don't even realize.
Yeah, it's like we're on autopilot sometimes.
Right. Journaling, it helps you become more aware of those patterns so you can make, more conscious choices, intentional choices that align with, your values and goals today.
It's like taking back the wheel, right? Becoming the conscious driver of your own life.
Exactly.
There's one more prompt from this section that really resonated with me. It asks, what is one habit or thought pattern from the past that you're ready to release? Write about how letting go of this could create space for something better. What do you think about the transformative power of letting go.
Releasing old habits, thought patterns, it can be incredibly liberating.
Yeah.
It allows you to break free
Yeah.
from those negative cycles and create space for new, healthier behaviors, ways of thinking. Journaling is a valuable tool in this process, helps you identify those patterns, understand their origins, and develop, strategies for change.
Yeah, it's like giving yourself permission to evolve.
Yes, to grow.
This section also talks about self-forgiveness. One prompt asks, what do you need to forgive yourself for in your past? It's a powerful reminder that we need to extend compassion to ourselves, even for those past mistakes.
Yeah. It's not always easy to do, is it?
No, not always.
We tend to be much harder on ourselves than we would be on anyone else.
It's true.
But self-forgiveness, crucial for healing. We all make mistakes. Holding on to guilt and shame, it only holds us back. Journaling helps you process those past actions, understand the lessons, and ultimately extend yourself the same grace and forgiveness you would offer to others.
Yeah, it's about being kind to yourself.
Exactly.
Okay, there's one more prompt from this section I want to touch on. It asks, what is one unresolved emotion from the past that you need to process? Write about how working through this emotion can bring closure.
Interesting.
This one feels like it's about really digging deep, confronting those lingering emotions.
Sometimes we bury emotions, the ones that feel too painful to face. But those unprocessed emotions, they can continue to impact us. In subtle ways, sometimes not so subtle.
Yeah, they can linger.
Journaling. It provides a safe space, a private space, to explore those emotions, understand their roots, and finally, find closure.
Yeah, it's like letting go of a weight you didn't even realize you were carrying.
Exactly.
This whole section, releasing the past, it seems to be about acknowledging that our past has shaped us. But it doesn't have to define us. We have the power to choose how we move forward.
Absolutely. We can honor our past experiences, learn from them, and then consciously choose to move forward with a renewed sense of purpose and freedom. It's about reclaiming your narrative, stepping into your power.
I like that, reclaiming your narrative. Okay, that brings us to our final category, embracing hope for the future.
Embracing hope, okay.
This section has a really optimistic feel. It encourages us to look ahead with a sense of possibility and excitement. What are your thoughts on the role of hope in the healing process?
Envisioning a positive future, it's a powerful motivator. In the healing process, it gives us something to strive for, helps us maintain hope, even, when things feel challenging, and ultimately it keeps us moving forward.
Yeah, it's like having that light at the end of the tunnel.
Right. One prompt that I found really inspiring and asks, what does healing look like for you in the future?
Oh, wow.
It invites you to paint a picture of your healed self, which can be incredibly motivating.
It's like creating a roadmap for your healing journey.
Exactly.
Okay, I have another one I want to highlight. What are 3 things you're hopeful for in the coming months? I think this is such a simple yet powerful exercise because it encourages us to focus on the positive and cultivate a sense of optimism.
Hope is essential for healing. It fuels our resilience, gives us strength to keep going, helps us believe that, a brighter future is possible. By identifying things you're hopeful for, you shift your focus towards, positivity and possibility, which can be really empowering.
It's like consciously choosing to focus on the light, even when surrounded by darkness.
Exactly.
Okay, one last prompt from this section that I really liked. What would your future self say to the person you are right now?
Oh, that's a good one.
It's like getting advice and encouragement from your wisest self.
I love that one. It's such a powerful exercise in self-reflection. Imagine your future self, someone who has already gone through the healing process, come out stronger. What advice would they offer? What encouragement would they give?
Yeah, it's a beautiful way to tap into your own inner wisdom and get some perspective on your current challenges.
It is.
Okay, before we move on, let me just quickly recap what we've covered so far.
Okay.
We've explored a variety of journal prompts that encourage us to explore emotional pain, find forgiveness, rebuild self-worth, release the past, and embrace hope for the future. It's amazing how these prompts touch on so many different aspects of healing. What are your thoughts on the holistic nature of these prompts?
They really highlight that healing isn't just about, addressing emotional pain. It's about rebuilding self-worth, releasing the past, embracing hope for the future. It's about looking at the whole person, recognizing that all these aspects of ourselves, they're interconnected.
Yeah, it's all connected. This deep dive has been really insightful, but before we get too carried away, Let's take a pause and reflect on what we've discussed so far. We'll be back soon to explore even more thought-provoking prompts from this incredible article. Stay tuned.
Welcome back.
So as we continue to dive into these prompts,
Yeah.
one thing that stood out to me about the article was the focus on self-compassion. It's emphasized throughout.
Right. It's not about beating yourself up for past mistakes or expecting these overnight transformations.
Right.
It's about being kind to yourself.
Yeah, approaching yourself with understanding.
Exactly. And I remember one prompt from the Exploring Emotional Pain section.
Yeah.
It asked, what does self-compassion look like for you right now?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Encouraging you to think about how you can be more gentle with yourself.
Mm-hmm. As you navigate those difficult emotions.
Exactly. Treat yourself with the same care that you would offer a loved one who is struggling.
Yeah. It's easy to forget to do that.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially when we're going through something tough.
Right. We're often our own worst critics.
That's true.
Remember, healing, it takes time.
Mm-hmm.
And setbacks, they happen.
Yeah.
They're a natural part of the process.
There's another prompt
in
the Embracing Hope for the Future section that also talks about self-compassion.
Oh, yeah.
It asks, what role does self-compassion play in your healing future?
Right.
It's encouraging you to think about how being kind to yourself will help you, stay committed to your growth.
Right. Like you're your own best cheerleader.
Yeah. Offering support every step of the way.
Exactly. Self-compassion. It's not a luxury.
No.
It's a necessity for sustainable healing.
Yeah, I like that. Sustainable healing.
When you're kind to yourself, you're more likely to persevere through the challenges.
Right.
Forgive yourself for setbacks. Stay motivated on your healing journey.
Okay, before we get too deep into more prompts,
Yeah.
I think it's important to remember that while journaling can be really helpful for self-healing, it's not meant to replace professional help.
Absolutely. If you're struggling with really deep-seated emotional pain or trauma, seeking guidance from a therapist or counselor can be incredibly beneficial.
Yeah, it's not a substitute for that.
Right.
Journaling can be like a complement.
Yes, a great compliment.
To therapy.
Yeah.
A space to process those thoughts and feelings.
It's between sessions. Exactly. Okay, let's get back to those prompts.
Okay, sounds good.
There's one in the Finding Forgiveness section that I thought was pretty thought-provoking.
Oh, yeah.
It asks, how can forgiving someone else set you free?
That is a good one.
It makes you think about forgiveness from a different angle.
It does, yeah.
Reminds us that forgiveness isn't about, condoning someone's actions.
Right. It's not about saying what they did was okay.
Exactly. It's about releasing ourselves from the burden of anger and resentment.
Yeah, it's like holding on to that anger. It hurts us more than the person who wronged us.
Exactly. It's like we're carrying around this heavy weight.
Yeah.
That prevents us from moving forward. Forgiveness is about setting ourselves free from that weight, allowing us to heal.
Yeah, to move on.
And move on with our lives.
Okay, there's another prompt in the Rebuilding Self-Worth section that caught my attention.
Oh, yeah. Which one?
It asks, what external validation do you rely on most? And how can you start finding that validation within yourself?
That's a crucial question.
Yeah.
For anyone on a healing journey, our self-worth, it can become tied to those external factors like approval from others, achievements, even material possessions.
Yeah, that's true.
But true self-worth, it comes from within. It's about recognizing your inherent value as a human being, regardless of those external circumstances.
It's like we're looking for validation in all the wrong places.
Yes.
When the most important source of validation is already within us.
Precisely. And this prompt encourages us to shift our focus inward.
Yeah, I like that.
Cultivating self-love and acceptance as the foundation for genuine self-worth.
It's about recognizing your own worthiness.
Exactly.
There's a prompt in the Releasing the Past section that also talks about this idea.
Oh, yeah.
Of internal validation.
Okay.
It asks, what does it feel like to let go of the past? And encourages you to think about what emotional freedom would look and feel like.
I love that prompt.
Yeah.
It's an invitation to imagine a future where you're no longer weighed down by the past.
Yeah, it's like, what would that feel like for you?
That's a great question. What would it feel like for you?
I think for me, It would be like a sense of lightness, like I'm finally free to be myself
Yeah, a sense of liberation.
without those old burdens holding me back.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And remember, it's a journey,
Right.
not a destination.
Mm-hmm.
There will be times when those old patterns resurface.
Yeah.
But with practice,
Mm-hmm.
you'll get better at recognizing them.
Yeah, and choosing a different path.
Exactly.
I also really like the prompt
Okay.
in the Embracing Hope for the Future section
Mm-hmm.
that asks, how will you celebrate your progress as you continue to heal?
Oh, I love that one.
It encourages you to think about the milestones,
Yeah.
big or small, that will remind you how far you've come.
It is so important to acknowledge and celebrate those moments
Yeah.
of growth and healing.
It's like we get so focused on the destination
Right.
that we forget to enjoy the journey.
Exactly. This prompt reminds us to pause,
Yeah.
reflect,
Mm.
and celebrate those wins, no matter how small. It's like fuel for the journey.
It is. Those
Yeah.
little celebrations.
Yeah, reminding us we're on the right track.
Mm-hmm. Capable of achieving our goals.
Exactly.
Speaking of staying on track, there's a prompt
Oh, yeah?
in the Rebuilding Self-Worth section that I
Right.
found pretty interesting.
What is it?
It asks, what boundaries do you need to set to protect your self-worth?
Oh, that's a good one.
Encouraging you to think about how setting boundaries can reinforce your sense of value.
Boundaries are so important,
They are.
but how do they relate to self-worth?
When you set boundaries,
Yeah.
you're basically saying that your needs,
Mhm.
your feelings, they matter.
Mm-hmm.
You're communicating that you deserve respect
Right.
and that you're not going to tolerate behavior that diminishes your sense of self.
Yeah, it's like you're drawing a line saying, this is what I will and will not accept.
Exactly. And when you honor those boundaries,
Yeah.
you reinforce your own sense of self-worth.
You're sending a message to yourself and others that you value yourself and your well-being.
Yeah, it's a powerful act of self-respect.
It is.
There's another prompt in the Embracing Hope for the Future section
Okay.
that speaks to this idea of creating a life that's aligned with your values and boundaries.
Oh, yeah.
It asks, what dreams do you want to pursue once you've healed? It's about recognizing that as we heal, we become more capable of pursuing our dreams and creating a life that truly reflects who we are.
That's so inspiring.
Yeah, isn't it?
It reminds us that healing isn't just about fixing what's broken.
Yeah.
It's about opening ourselves up to new possibilities
Yeah.
and recognizing that we have something unique and valuable to offer the world.
Yeah, it's like healing gives us the strength and clarity to really step into our full potential.
Exactly. Recognize that you have something to offer the world
Mm-hmm.
and that your healing journey can empower you to share those gifts
Yeah, to share those gifts with the world.
and fully.
This whole conversation about releasing the past and embracing hope for the future,
Yeah.
it reminds me of one of the prompts from the Releasing the Past section
Okay.
that asks, how would your life change if you fully let go of the past? It invites you to consider what might be possible if you could release those old hurts, those grudges, those regrets.
It's like, imagine carrying around a backpack filled with rocks
Yeah.
from the past. How much lighter and freer would you feel
Yeah, it would be amazing.
if you could finally set that backpack down?
It's such a powerful image.
It is.
Letting go of the past, it's not about erasing it
No.
or pretending it didn't happen.
Right.
It's about acknowledging its impact, learning from it,
Yes.
and then choosing to move forward without letting it define you.
It's about recognizing that you have the power
Hmm.
to choose how you want your past to shape your present and your future.
Right. Taking control of your story.
Exactly. Taking ownership of your narrative.
Yeah.
Creating a future that aligns with your values, your goals,
Yeah.
your aspirations.
This reminds me of one of the prompts from the Embracing Hope for the Future section
Oh, yeah.
that asks, what does inner peace look like for your future self?
That's a good one.
It highlights the connection between our present and future.
It does.
Yeah, the choices we make today, the thoughts we cultivate, the actions we take, they all contribute to the kind of future we're creating for ourselves.
Beautifully said. It's like planting those seeds of peace
Yeah.
in the present
Mm-hmm.
that will blossom into a more peaceful future.
That's a great analogy.
Inner peace, it's not something that just happens to you. It's something you actively cultivate.
That's such an empowering message.
It is.
Yeah, it means that we have the power to shape our own experience of peace.
Yes. Both in the present and in the future.
Exactly. Okay,
Okay.
let's quickly recap what we've covered in this part. We've explored journal prompts that encourage us to explore forgiveness, rebuild self-worth, release the past, and embrace hope for the future.
Mm.
We talked about self-compassion,
Yes.
setting boundaries, and celebrating our progress.
And we highlighted the connection
Yes.
between our inner and outer worlds.
Right, how it's all interconnected.
Recognizing that the choices we make in our thoughts, actions, and relationships all contribute to our overall well-being.
It's a holistic approach to healing.
It is.
We have one more part to go.
Okay.
We'll be back soon to wrap things up and explore some final thoughts on how to make the most of these journal prompts and continue on this journey of healing and growth.
Sounds good.
We're back for the final part of our deep dive.
And we're still exploring those self-healing journal prompts.
50 of them.
It's been a journey, hasn't it, thinking about all these different sides of healing?
Yeah, so much to unpack. These prompts, from Claire Penrose's article, they've given us a lot to think about.
They really have. And, it's good to remember. These prompts, they're a starting point.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The real magic happens when you take these prompts and make them your own.
I like that. It's like we've been given this toolbox, right?
Yeah.
Full of tools. And now it's up to each of us to figure out how to use those tools in a way that works for us.
Yeah.
For our own needs and goals.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to adapt the prompts, reword them, combine them, create new ones, whatever resonates with you, your experiences. Make this process your own.
So as we wrap up, any advice for our listeners? How to approach these prompts? How to make the most of this self-healing journey?
Be curious. Be kind to yourself. There are no right answers, no wrong answers. It's about exploring your inner world gently.
With compassion.
It's like a conversation with yourself.
Exactly. And remember, healing takes time. Be patient. Celebrate your progress. Don't be afraid to, revisit some prompts, maybe multiple times as you grow, as you change.
It's a journey, not a destination. Absolutely. And don't feel limited to just writing. Bring in other creative things, drawing, painting, collages, even mind maps, whatever feels right.
I love that. It's about finding what works for you, giving yourself permission to be creative.
Exactly. Connect with yourself authentically. That's what matters.
Any final thoughts for our listeners as we close out this deep dive?
Trust the process. Healing isn't always, a straight line. There will be ups and downs. But even in the tough times, remember, you are capable of healing, of growing, of creating a life full of joy, meaning, purpose.
Believe in your own power to change, to transform.
Yes.
Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the world of self-healing journal prompts.
It's been great exploring this with you.
And to our listeners, thank you for joining us. Take these prompts, make them your own, and start your own journey toward healing and wholeness. Until next time, keep exploring, keep growing, and keep believing in the power of your own inner wisdom.